for tuning in. My name is Lance Tom, and I'm here with my boy.
Calvo. What is up, everyone? Hey, that was kind of weird, man. We switched up. I said, Lance, you should do the intro
Yeah,
today. That threw
I
me off.
know it didn't feel too right. We just keep with the Kyle intro. But look, check this out, man. We have a special guest right here. Tell us your name, my guy, and where are you from?
What's up, everybody? My name is Miggyvision, and I am from Wilmington, California, the 90744. You know,
What's
Harbor
up? What's
area, Los
going on?
Angeles.
Oh,
I
man.
appreciate you coming on, Miggyvision, man. This is dope. This is our first cinematography host, so man, it's gonna be real exciting for real.
Yeah, man.
Well, bro, it's an honor to be the first video person to be on your podcast because I do obviously I've listened to a few of your episodes, and so it's crazy for me to be the first non
Uh,
singer or rapper or anything like that.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, my
yeah,
G.
for sure, for sure. But, yo, so can you kind of tell us how you got into, like, videography or cinematography? Can you, like, walk us through, like, the whole story, if you can?
Yeah. So if you ask any kind of filmmaker as far as like old school filmmakers, the story's very similar. It's like when we were kids, we loved watching movies, and then we randomly started picking up our dad's fucking old ass VHS camera
Hmm.
Uh-huh,
and started
yeah.
making really stupid videos with our friends. So that's literally my story. It sounds kind of like it's your typical story, but like when I was a kid, I love watching movies just in general, right? I just love
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
watching movies all day, every fucking day. And then when I got old enough, I started getting curious as to, well, how are they made, right?
Yeah,
Hmm.
And
yeah, yeah.
then uh, here's a crazy thing that not a lot of people know. And I didn't know this. So my dad apparently, when he was younger, he wanted to make movies.
Oh,
Like
Oh
he was
shit.
really
okay.
into the whole video and filming thing, but he never told me about it. So it's kind of crazy that on my own, without him kind of forcing me, I got into it too. It wasn't until I got into it that he told me, hey, you know that when I was a kid, I used to, and then he showed me all these fucking like old school cameras he had.
Hey.
Um,
That's
and
what's up.
that's how I kind of picked it up, bro. My friends, I had my neighbors, because back in the day we actually used to go outside and play and shit, you know.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Hmm.
So we started doing really dumb videos. They're fucking awful, but um, from I would say when I was about fourth grade, I knew that I wanted to work in movies in some capacity. Like from
Fourth
that
grade.
early on. Yeah, I knew
Wow.
from that
That's a
early on.
young age to know what you
Damn,
want to
dude.
do.
Yeah, man.
From that early on, I knew, bro. Like it's because I just love movies. Like back then, I thought I wanted to act. Back way back then, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But making those dumb videos with my friends, I kind of it opened my eyes and I realized that I was always more interested in being behind the camera. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Hmm.
okay. Yeah, yeah.
Like I was always more interested in watching the making of as opposed to the actual movie.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
So
I got
that's
you.
that's
Yeah.
literally how it started, and I'm not. And when it got serious, I would say is when I was in middle school. I would say
Middle
sixth,
school.
seventh grade.
Okay.
That's
Okay.
when I legit was like, I want to direct movies,
Mm.
and
Damn.
that's when I
So
started, bro. That's how it started.
that's crazy. Like that's growing up in fourth grade, you already knew what you wanted to do. Not a lot of people know what they want to do now, and they're like 30 or 35 years old, but you knew in fourth grade. That's amazing. For you growing up, which movies did you watch that made you like inspire
Oh,
like
yeah. Like, what was the
being in
one?
photography?
Oh, the
Yeah.
one that's easy. That's for me. That's actually easy. The one with Halloween, the original Halloween.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
shit.
Oh wow. Okay. That was
Halloween
easy.
Part One. That was
Damn.
the
Oh
one.
wow. Okay. Okay. Can you break that down? Like what made you like get into that movie specifically that made you
Okay,
go
yeah.
into that?
So
Because everyone's
obviously I had
getting
seen the
fucked up.
so the funny thing was Halloween wasn't like one of the because I was too little to watch it. My parents wouldn't let me watch it like that, right? When I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
little.
yeah.
So I actually saw that when I was a little bit older. I wasn't like old, but I was a little bit older. But like in other words, I was already into movies, and I knew I wanted to make movies. But
Mhm.
when I saw Halloween for the first time, that was the movie that finally like sparked when I'm like I want to direct movies,
Wow.
right? And
Mhm.
it was more because I'm like it was a combination like the music and it was a mask, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Michael Myers mask and how creepy it fucking looked
Yeah,
and
dude.
The
how I
music
felt
is
after what
iconic. Yeah.
like when I watched it I was like and when I saw the making of that I was like I want to direct movies. I want to make
Mm.
movies when I grow up. I want to make movies. So it was Halloween. That's actually an easy answer for me, believe
Yeah,
it or not.
that's interesting. That's an interesting movie type.
Damn.
That's great. That's kind of cool though. That's kind of cool. Like yeah, I remember Halloween. I don't remember too like vividly, but I
Hmm.
do remember like the whole genre, the shots and everything. That's kind of dope. That's really dope that you really just based your cinematography on that movie. That's dope. That's was there do you remember the first video or project you actually shot as well too, since we're talking about,
Oh
back in the
fuck,
day?
dude. I don't. Oh god, I don't remember the first thing I ever technically shot, but I do remember it was with my neighbors, my friends.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Um, because they also like movies and they were always down. So I guess the best way I describe it when people ask me about like how I got into like why I like filming and shit like that, the way I like to describe it is it's the hobby I never grew out of. Because my
Mm.
friends, the ones I would film these videos with, eventually they grew out of it. Like at a
Yeah,
certain
yeah.
point, they're like, "This is stupid,"
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and I actually, but I kept going. You know what I mean? I was
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so I don't remember the exact name, bro. I just know it was in my backyard somewhere. Awful. That's why.
Okay, okay. Ain't no thing. Was it
That's
like what was the project that maybe was like let's say to keep going and
Yeah.
going and
Or
going?
what was what was
Maybe
like the first project that you worked on or something you shot that you realized that I was like, hey, you know what? I'm actually pretty nice with it. Like I could do this.
okay. I actually do know. So again, it was still with my neighbors. So it's crazy. So my neighbors, they were my two best friends growing up. I was it's weird because I'm the middle child in my immediate family, and
Mm-hmm.
I was also the middle child with my best friends growing up.
Oh,
Like
mm-hmm,
okay.
one was a year older than me, and then the
mm-hmm,
other one was a year younger than me.
mm.
So the one that was a year older than me and him were in high school at the same time, and at that time there was actually a video class at my high school,
Oh,
right?
all right.
Mm.
And I couldn't get into it because I was too young. Like it's like you had to be at least in like at the time you had to be like in 11th grade, and I was barely a freshman, so
Mm-hmm.
I
Oh
couldn't be in
shit.
the class. But
Yeah.
my buddy was in it, and he was like, and he at the time he still knew that's that was my shit. So he asked me to help him on his project on his like final project, and we shot a fake trailer for a Halloween movie.
Oh
We
Oh,
shot
shit.
it.
okay.
We shot
Oh
it in my house and in my
shit.
backyard, and that's the first project that I can honestly say I was proud of. It like if you watch it, I don't even know if it's possible to find it at this point, but I was so proud of it because he told me that when he presented it to the class, he got like the most praise. And I'm like,
Yo, that's dope.
even though I wasn't in the class, like I took it as
Yeah.
a win because I was like, I'm the one that helped the most in that because he
Yeah.
knew that I was the one that was more into it. So that was the first project that I felt, I guess you could say I had my chest up high and my fucking nose was, fucking up there. And it was a Halloween thing, bro. It was a fake Halloween. It was a fake trailer for a Halloween movie that's never gonna happen. And we did it in my backyard, bro. It was fucking, it was hilarious. I'm not gonna lie, it was hilarious.
Hey, that's
Dude,
pretty
that's funny.
cool. Is like horror, like that genre, like horror or thriller, is that like your favorite genre of like movies?
You know, there are one of the most unfair questions that kind of I feel like musicians. That's why I love musicians because I feel like our worlds are parallel.
Mm-hmm.
It's like if, when I get asked what's your favorite movie, what's that type of shit, I'm like, that's not a fair question to ask me. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Mhm.
that's true. Yeah.
That's fucking hard. But horror is the genre that got me into movies. That's the
Okay.
genre that made me want to make movies. So to this day, it still holds a special place in my heart
Okay. All right. Yeah.
because of
Mm.
that. If you want to get to that, like that type of specifics, I would say at this point it's more supernatural horror. That's like if you came to me and you told me you only get to make one movie
Mm-hmm.
ever, it would probably be a supernatural thriller type of.
Mm.
Oh, so
That's not.
what would like a supernatural thriller be? Like Alien versus Predator or something like that, or?
If you guys know this movie, I will be very impressed, and I will go to Vegas for us to have a drink together. If you guys, at some point, have you ever heard of a movie called The Mothman Prophecies?
Lost Man's
The
Prophecy. No,
Mothman
no,
Ah,
I don't
fuck,
think
goddamn
so.
it.
Prophecies. I
Okay,
don't think
look it
so.
up. That is, in other words, literally, I wish I would have made that movie.
What is it? The
That is
Mothman.
Mothman Prophecy.
Mothman Prophecies. Let me
It
see.
was
That's
Richard Gere. Richard Gere's in it.
Oh, it came out in 2002.
Oh,
Richard
okay.
Gere, Lenny
I
Beck.
know of this movie when I saw it when I was a little kid, but I don't remember the I don't remember the premonition of it. Okay, okay. Yeah, I
So
remember. I remember that picture though. I do remember that picture.
yeah, so like again, it's an impossible question, and I can talk for days about it. But if you want to go like super, just break it down, hold a gun to my head, I would
Mm-hmm.
say that's literally the type of movie. If I only got to make one movie, that's the type of movie I would want to make
Okay.
Okay.
because it's like half horror, but also half like suspense and mind fuck. Like, you know what I mean? It's not like a straight
Yeah.
boo type of movie, but
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah, like
Okay.
that. So I would say that and either that or like an exorcism movie. Like The Exorcist is one of the most important movies to me personally.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Did you ever watch Butterfly Effect?
yeah, I
Did
watched that
you
movie.
like that one? I feel like you're I don't know if you're into that kind of type of
Well, here's the thing: the
suspense.
butterfly effect is that it's very similar to Mothman. Like it's not a
Oh,
horror
okay.
movie,
Yeah.
but it's kind of like mind fuck. Kind of
Mhm.
Oh,
what the fuck's going on. I
okay.
will
Yeah.
say though, Mothman to me is still more genuinely creepy though. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
creepy
No,
as
yeah,
opposed.
yeah, definitely.
So think butterfly effect, but actually like creepy.
Oh, okay, okay, yeah.
If
Because
that makes
Butterfly
sense.
Effect was just basically going back in time, trying to have him change everything, but
Yeah, but you know how it was
unfortunately.
like, whoa, it kind of like your mind was like, whoa, what the fuck, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
that's Mothman, but Mothman's actually creepy. Like it has like genuinely creepy
Okay,
moments.
okay, then I
Damn.
might, I might enjoy that movie. Because Butterfly Effect was my shit. I love Butterfly Effect. I can always
If
finish
you
it.
love Butterfly, at worst case scenario, you'll enjoy Mothman.
Okay.
Worst
Okay,
case.
shit. Why not?
Lance, you're gonna have to watch it and let me know because I'm a fucking puss. If it's fucking thriller, horror, anything like that, I won't watch it. People paying money to get scared and shit and get your heartbeat going up and shit, that shit's foreign to me. I don't understand that. But, to each their own. Um, but we talked about like some of your favorite genres or a genre that's like very important and near and dear to you. Do you have any like favorite projects that you've worked on over the years?
I do. My first film school project that I actually did, I would say I'm proud. I don't like the final result's not any good,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm proud of it because of certain circumstances. The thing that people don't understand, bro, is that something always goes wrong on the shoot. Like
Mm-hmm.
literally, no, it's
Mm.
literally one of the best things one of my teachers said when I was in college.
Mm-hmm.
He literally told us directing a movie is literally just preparing for everything to go wrong.
Wow,
Damn,
that's
And
crazy.
that was
Holy shit.
that's a
like
fucking
it's like in
bar.
other
Wow.
words, yeah, bro. In other words, he was like, you literally need to think worst case scenario for everything.
Hmm. That's
So
interesting. That's interesting. Shit.
and throughout the years, bro, I've been doing it long enough at this point where it's true. It's like something's always gonna go wrong. You know what I mean? So my first project that I was actually proud of when I was in film school was it was actually a Joker fan film that I did, right?
Oh,
And
nice.
at the time, I was studying to direct.
Mm-hmm.
So I wanted to be a movie director at the time. That's what I thought. That was my major is technically in that. And the cinematographer that shot it was actually the best cinematographer at school. In other words, I was shocked that he actually wanted to work with me, just because
Mm.
I felt like my thing was below him. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Because this dude is like he's legit that good, right? Like he's genuinely that good.
Yeah.
But he loved what I wrote, and he reached out to me. And he's like, "Dude, I actually really dig this." And I was like, "What the fuck?" But long story short, when you're in film school, you have to like reserve your equipment ahead of time and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
And the day of, I had no equipment because I guess accidentally wrote a different number on the date.
Oh shit.
And the stupid
Damn.
ass fucking equipment people
Holy crap.
weren't willing to just think, oh, this he probably means this date.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I had nothing, and thankfully, by a miracle, I actually had a camera on me.
Mm-hmm.
So
Wow.
So it was a total shit show, but I'm proud of it because we finished it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh
yeah.
shit.
I feel that.
Like I still
Damn.
finished it. So that was the
Yeah.
first project that I was like proud of in film school, even though it's terrible.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm proud of it now because without knowing early on, I realized early on, like without even knowing, like I saw that I can work under pressure. If that makes like
No, yeah,
like
yeah,
Yeah,
you know
yeah.
what
definitely.
I mean? Like I was totally bummed out. I'm not gonna lie, I was like all bummed out, but we finished it, and all like the comic book geeky people liked it,
Yeah.
even though it's
Yeah,
fucking
yeah.
even though it's terrible. Like it's so embarrassing, like me thinking about it. But I finished it. I finished it. So that was I would say that would be the first
That's
thing.
what's up. Well, how fast? What's the fastest time you ever finished a movie, a music video, or any project of some sort? Or maybe the
In general,
longest. Yeah, longest or
in
fastest.
general, the fastest within a day.
Within a
But
day. Oh
that's
shit.
because it was I would say it was in film school. It was because we would have what we called the 48-hour competition. So
Oh
you
shit.
had to write,
Damn.
shoot, and edit a short in 48
Wow.
hours, right?
That is crazy.
And I did that twice.
Sheesh.
Um, the first time I did it, like I genuinely wanted to win the competition,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
and unfortunately, that competition was more like favoritism.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Like in other words, I'm not the person to say, "Oh, mine was the best," but even my best friends that I met there, I didn't know them then, but even they told me, I'm like, I thought you at least should have gotten top three. Like, and they didn't know
Mm.
me then, and I
Mm-hmm.
didn't even place. I didn't get top three.
Damn.
And at that point, so the second time I did it, it was more of a fuck you to the school. So I did a really stupid video on purpose, like a really
You
dumb
fucking
video.
trolled them.
I
I
got you.
literally,
Yeah.
I was a
Yeah.
troll before trolling was a thing
Yeah, yeah.
in my school
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
I was like, you know what? I busted my ass the first time and I didn't get
Yeah.
any genuine credit for it, so I'm gonna do something really stupid the second time.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And it was really so. But in yeah, an actual short film, 48 hours. A video just in general, 24. Like where I shoot it and then I just edit all night and it's done by the morning.
Damn,
Damn.
that's crazy. That's fast.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a
fast. Is
grind.
that fast? Is that fast to you for yourself? Do you consider that fast, or is that too slow still?
I would say that's realistically fast.
That's realistically fast. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like let's say you and I shoot a video tomorrow morning,
Mm-hmm.
and then by midnight or 2, 3 a.m. it's done, quote
Oh.
unquote. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah.
It's probably not gonna be that good, but
Yeah.
it's done. You know what I mean? It's there.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So
Yeah, but
realistically, 24 hours just should be like the momentum to finish a video in your eyes, right? That's what you're saying.
I hope you're not doing that. I guess that's what I'm saying. Now that I'm a little more wiser, I
Yeah.
hope
Yeah.
that's not what you're doing. But yeah,
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
that's the most
Okay.
realistic time, bro. Because I think the thing that people don't take into account, if you're not a video person or a
Yeah.
shooter or whatever you want to call yourself,
Uh-huh.
it's not the shooting, bro, as so much as it's the editing. You know what I
Again, the
mean?
Oh,
Like
editing. Yeah.
I
that's
Yeah. Yeah.
fucking feel that in my
Yes.
soul.
it's that's the one thing. Like I don't want to get into it, but like
Mhm.
working with clients and shit like that, it's like when you're first starting out, I guess I'm trying to say is like I'm not charging you for the shooting. I'm charging you more for the editing because that's where
For
the
the
work is
editing.
really at.
I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah.
I
You know
got you.
what I mean?
Okay.
So
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's definitely an eye opener for us because we have to understand the whole business. We have to understand artists, producers, cinematography. You know, we want to get to know the ins and outs of it, of course, because that's how music is. You know, we don't want to
yeah,
just go half-ass it. You know, so I'm learning a lot already, and we're only in 20 minutes of this interview, which is wonderful. You know, so I mean, since we're talking about that, like let's transition to how we found you through music videos. Like you shot a
okay.
lot of music videos. Do you have a favorite genre of music that you like to work with?
I as far as shooting videos, is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yes, like music videos.
I don't,
Oh, you don't?
and
Okay.
I don't have a specific genre that I favor as far as shooting videos for, because someone like me, um, back in the day when I got into filmmaking, which it was early, was mid '90s to late 2000s, or not
Mhm.
late, early 2000s. Um, Obviously, like I said, I wanted to make movies, right?
Mhm.
But so I started researching. I'm like, what's at the time a realistic way to get into making movies was to do music videos first. So I
Okay.
started studying the music video directors from the mid '90s to the early 2000s.
Ooh, best directors. Yeah,
So
yeah. I like those.
yeah, so obviously that and that shit, and to, even to this day, I would say I don't have a genre more so because to me, music videos are the perfect way to practice and experiment. So I don't
Ooh.
give
Okay.
a shit if it's a pop song. I don't give a fuck if it's a fucking country song, rap video. It doesn't matter to me.
I got
If
you.
I can shoot something that is fucking dope and fulfills me, I don't fucking care what genre it is, bro. Like there are music videos from artists that people can say, "What the fuck?" Like really? But
Mhm.
their videos are fucking dope. Like,
Yeah.
but that's coming from a filmmaker's perspective. I'm like, dude, I don't
Mhm.
fucking care what song it is. That video was fucking the shit. You know what I mean? So I
Yeah.
don't have a genre, bro. Like that's why I do. That's why I enjoy working on music videos because it's a way for me. Because when you work on movies, bro, whether it's a movie or nowadays fucking on like a Netflix, Hulu, or Amazon show, it's a the studio controls, bro. It's like you got to do what they want.
Mhm.
It's like it's rare for you to really have a stamp on it, right?
Yeah.
Like you gotta,
Mhm.
you're literally just sprinkling your fucking talent on it.
Yeah. You're kind of
But on
being
a
like a
music
yes man.
borderline yes man, yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not like a literal yes man, you're a borderline like yes man. So music videos, even to this day, are still a platform where as a filmmaker you get to put your stamp on it.
Mm.
So I don't have a genre, bro. It's more that's why I like working on music videos because it doesn't matter what genre it is, as long as I get to put my stamp on it. You know what I mean?
I got you.
I
Hmm.
feel you. I
That's
feel you.
interesting. Yeah. That's an interesting take, because like you said, you can experiment with music videos, and that's very true because you can because there's a lot of music videos that's been experimented from the '90s, 2000s, and so forth, and then it's been crazier and crazier each and every year, and there's always a story behind it. So, for you to say that, that's really interesting. That you because like
Music videos are the one thing where your general audience doesn't question whether it makes sense or not.
yeah,
Because
That
yeah,
even a bad movie, everyone will even like okay, I'm gonna put my best example, and I hope people don't take offense, but it's the first thing I can think of. None of the Fast and the Furious movies make sense, bro. None of them do. They're so fucking stupid and unrealistic, right? But people love them. They don't fucking question it, right? But
mm,
if you
fan.
really think about it, they don't make sense. They're fucking retarded, right? In general.
yeah,
Yes, coming from a person that like is really into cars, watching the
Hmm.
Fast and Furious like become what it is like
Exactly. Okay. Yes.
what the
Thank you.
fuck,
Thank you.
dude?
Thank you.
Like,
it's a 360, big ass 360.
yeah, dude, it's
I
like uh, what I was gonna say is like it's like first it came up on like street racing and like LA underground street like car culture, right? Breaking into the mainstream to fucking like, all right, we're fucking family, and we're going to fucking drop a car out of a fucking airplane and parachute, and that's physically fucking impossible, and it's gonna fucking land on the side of a mountain road, and we're gonna fucking dodge rockets and fucking jets and shit, and like, come on,
Yeah.
fam, like
Yeah.
it was just I don't know.
Bro, I'm not a car person, but even I'm gonna put that aside. So I'm gonna ask you, how the fuck does Vin Diesel become like a tactical soldier out of nowhere?
Okay, so when they
Speed
did
is
I,
that
that's
speed.
all I want to
fucking
ask. You know, you
when
know what I'm trying to
they
say? Like, how the fuck did he become a tactical fucking precision soldier out of nowhere? I'm like, what the fuck, dude?
I was like Vin Diesel, like the start of his story is just like a dude that's just really into cars, and did some questionable such shit, and was also kind of about that life, to where, yeah, doing all this shit, like, where the fuck did that come from? And when they did that spin-off, the fucking Vin Diesel and no, what,
The
yeah,
Hobbs
Vin
and
Diesel,
Shaw.
Hobbs and Shaw, whatever the fuck, with the Rock and all that shit too, I was just like,
Yeah.
I was like, get that shit out of here, fam. I can't watch this shit, dude. When they fucking, I forget what Fast and Furious movie it was, but when they drove the fucking car in fucking Dubai and one building to the other building, I was like, all right, this is it
Oh, that
for me.
was
That was
Fast 7. That's Furious
that
7.
was when that's the one where Paul Walker
Paul
had
Walker
died
died.
Yeah.
already. That's the one.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
I,
it.
after that, I was like, all right, that's it for me, fam. That's,
Oh, bro, I was out way before that.
Oh
I was like,
shit.
can't do that shit.
Like,
Well,
yeah, dude. It's like, yeah. No, so sorry. The reason I brought that up was because in movies you question things like that, right?
Yes,
oh
In
yeah.
music videos, in general, you don't. That's why it's like that's the freedom you get in music videos.
that's
It's like
true.
they don't need to make sense.
True.
They just need to look fucking cool.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
to
yeah.
this day, I don't fucking understand the concept of the fucking TLC's No Scrubs music video, but that's my like one of my top like all time favorite music videos.
I'm
A
glad
lot
you
of
brought that
Missy
up.
Elliott, little
I'm
Missy
glad you
Elliott
brought that
videos.
up was because that video was shot by one of the directors I would have mentioned if you would ask me,
Oh, okay.
about music video
Oh,
directors.
very
Oh,
dark.
okay.
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 So no,
Yeah,
but
let's.
see, that's what I mean. Like music videos, they don't need to really make sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if they look fucking amazing, it's you know what I mean. It's like to this day, even me that I know. Here's the thing, bro. Like me, when you know how things are done, whether you're a musician, a filmmaker, it doesn't matter what it is, right? I feel like the final product doesn't affect you as much as how much you admire the production value. You know what I mean? Like you don't need to like a song, you don't need to like a movie, but if it's well made, you're like, that's fucking tight.
Yes, I can relate to that a lot because like I'm really big into like the culinary world and everything, like culinary arts. So
Top chef
whenever
status?
I'm sorry,
Top chef status?
not quite there yet,
Yeah,
but you know,
almost,
Okay, okay,
almost, man.
maybe,
all right,
He's
all
maybe.
almost
right,
there.
But
all right.
He
yeah,
don't want
but
to admit
like
it, but he's good.
I got a restaurant, I work at a restaurant and everything. But besides that, like, um, yeah, whenever I go out to eat and I go to some other place, right? And like I'm looking at the menu and like the food comes out, right? I kind of already have like an idea of like how it's going to taste and everything, right? But I'm more interested in like going back there and like chopping up with the chef or something and seeing how they did it because that's what's way more interesting to me because the techniques and all that stuff and then it's just like, you know, you write the ingredient list down and everything and it's just like, "Oh, okay, but like you need to do like this with the meat and then this with the vegetables and then like you know all that." So like yeah, I kind of get what you're saying with that.
Bro, that applies to me that honestly, I 100%, I know nothing about culinary arts and shit, but I 100% understand what you're saying because it's the same, dude. Like, it applies to my world. Just like every time I've talked to a musician, I'm like, I'll never forget one of a good buddy of mine who's a musician, an awesome fucking producer. I'm like, dude, I want to fucking do a documentary about you recording a song, right? And he would always tell me, bro, but it's so boring recording a song. I'm like, dude, trust me. When someone's into it, that's the most fascinating
Mm,
thing there is.
yes.
It's like
Yes.
if you were to ask me, I want to sit in on a editing session. I'm like, bro, it's fucking boring. I'm just sitting there on the computer. But dude, a filmmaker is fascinated by watching, that process.
Hell yeah.
So I 100% understand what you mean by like of course, if you're trying to do culinary arts, it's like yeah, I 100% understand. You want to go into the kitchen and just see. I guess what I'm trying to say, the equivalent of that for me would be going on the set and looking where are the lights put. Where did they put the lights?
Hmm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I would ask, why did you put that light there? Why did you put that light there?
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
so that's
It's
what fascinates me. You know what I mean? So
like you're back in school.
I feel like that applies to almost every creative art. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, I think it does too. um
That's true.
Speaking of like creatives, how do you, with like music videos specifically, how do you balance that? Because I'm sure an artist kind of has a vision maybe for how they want maybe like the video to be produced for their songs, you know, if they want like a like maybe exactly what they're singing about or rapping about or whatever versus like how you kind of want to come up with like the concepts and create this story and whatnot. Like do you find that being like very difficult? Like how do you balance that?
Well, I did learn. very quickly when I started working with the KTS crew. There's to me there's two things, right? There's either they have a very specific vision for the
Mhm.
video they want to do, or it's more like I hear a song and I have a very specific vision of myself and I present it to them, right?
Mm. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they happen to have a very specific vision for it, then I'm the type of person that likes to be like, okay, how do I put my 2 cents into it? In
Mhm.
other words, I still want it to be their vision,
Mhm.
but I want to put my stamp. But in that sense, my stamp would be more technical, as in, all right, let's say they tell me I want to fucking drive a car in Dubai from one building to the other.
Yeah.
My job at that point would be, okay, um, visually, how would I shoot it? You know what I mean? Because there's different ways to do it.
Mhm.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, they just want the car to go from one building to the other, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
if you have me shoot it and you have someone else shoot it, it's gonna look different. So in other
Yeah.
words, if they have a very specific vision for a video, I'm the type of person that likes to be like, okay, I want to give them exactly what they want. So then how can I still put my little stamp on it? Right? That's one way. The other way would be I hear a song and I love it so much and I have a very specific idea in my head and I present it to them.
Mm.
They either like it or if they don't like it, then obviously it's not gonna happen. If they dig it, but they still have like notes and shit, then I like to work with it. Just you know what I mean? Like let's do it. Let's kind of figure it out. I'm a very adaptable type of person. Like I like to at the end of the day because at the end of the day, bro, I'm not the star. There's a star. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Mhm.
Like I'll never forget. There was a video that I shot once, and the artist brought it, and it was a kind of a like what the fuck moment for me, right? And the artist was like, "Hey, bro, so is this gonna go on your channel or on mine?" And dude, I
Mhm.
was like, mind fucked because I'm like, no, you're the fucking it's your video. It's not my video. You know what I mean? It's
Mhm.
like you're the star. I'm not the star.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
But then that made me realize how I feel like today, like a lot of video shooters, music video people, they're kind of in a weird way they're trying to be celebrities too. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Mhm.
And
Mhm. Mhm.
that's never been my goal. You know,
Mhm.
it's like it's more like going back to that video I told you that got 1 million views. No one to this day, no one's gonna know I fucking made it. But I'm proud of that video. I'm like, it's crazy to me.
Yeah.
I just want to be happy and proud of the work I do. You know what I mean? Regardless of whether people I know I made it or not. Because the
Definitely.
way that I explain it to people, it's like if an artist goes out of their way to reach out to me,
Mhm.
then I did something right. You know what I mean? Because I'm not
Definitely.
fucking putting blasting myself out like that in that type of way.
Mhm.
So yeah, I guess that's what I would say. It's more I'm the type of person that likes to I love collaboration, bro, because I don't give a fuck. Filmmaking, any type of filmmaking, it's collaborative art. Like literally, you need a team, whether it's just one or two people, but you still need to collaborate. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
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 as far as music videos, I like to collaborate as much as possible. I
I
like it to
got you.
be a, you know what I mean?
That's dope. That's a really humbling thing you're saying, because a lot of directors or videographers sometimes they don't, they want all the fame and they want to work with specific people. But with you, if people reach out to you, you're down to work with them. That's pretty amazing thing. Like, my other question I was gonna ask is what's your preparation for making a music video beforehand? Like the drawing boards from the blueprints to the drawing boards to the actual videos. Like how does that go about? On your whole day process.
It depends on the concept.
Okay.
It really does depend on concept because um I think the one thing that I'm personally proud of as far as my knowledge is because I do come from a more kind of traditional quote unquote filmmaking education as
Mhm.
opposed to I hope people don't take offense to this what I call the YouTube educated shooter,
Mhm.
which is a lot of people these days, is that when I get approached for a project, I'm just the type of person that's like, all right, what do we have available to us, right? In other
Yeah.
words, I guess a super fucking easy example I can give you. If someone tells me, all right, we got to pull up at this random ass fucking corner or park, shoot a video, right?
Mhm.
I guarantee you that my video will look way different than another person's video.
Oh yeah, no
And
doubt.
that's because my mind's like, all right, if literally you're telling me we have no crew, we have no fucking money, we don't even have permission to be there, I'm still gonna tell you, all right, we gotta shoot at a very specific time of the day, and I want
Mm,
to shoot it a specific type of way because I want it to look as best as I can make it look. You know what I mean?
yeah. Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
as
yeah.
far as my approach in that way, it's more okay. What's the idea? What are we trying to do? And then from there, I go, okay, so realistically, we this, and this, and then I plan around that. That's my
Hmm,
approach. Like I was
okay.
even when I was in school, that was still my approach because
Yeah.
my mind was just it was kind of molded that way more out of necessity, if I'm being honest, rather than because I wanted it to be that way. Like I've met a lot of people, bro, in my experience that they won't shoot shit if they don't have this, and that. You know what I mean? They're like,
Mm,
oh no, if we don't
I
have
got you.
this, we can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm the type of person I'm more the type of person that'll be like, we don't have this, so we can't do it. It won't come out that way, but we can do this, and it'll come out this way.
Mm,
Okay. So
okay.
So
you
I,
always have a solution to a problem, pretty much.
yeah, and yeah, I like to work with what I have.
Okay.
I'm a
I got
realistic
you.
person. I'll be like, all
Yeah.
right, it won't look like that, but we can try this, and
Yeah,
maybe
yeah, yeah.
And
it'll kind of come out like that.
that kind of goes back to like what you were saying earlier when you said like one of your teachers told you that like being a director is kind of like preparing for like every possible.
Everything to go wrong. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's dope.
That's amazing. That's like you're just perfecting your craft, but in a different perspective. Because like you said,
Bro,
if a director doesn't, if a director doesn't have anything to do, they're not gonna shoot. But if it's the same problem with you, you'll find a way to either shoot it a different way or a different time, and that's amazing. That's a lot of people don't have that mindset, and definitely that goes into the next question. I mean, we often talk about music videos that come from the '90s. You know, we have the '90s, the 2000s. We have like I don't know, the California Love with Tupac or Biggie's music videos were perfection. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of mainstream videos have been lacking creativity and originality. What is your opinion on that?
well, my opinion on that, if coming from my background, a lot of it, bro, honestly has to do with because back to me personally, the golden era of music videos was 80s, 90s, and early 2000s,
Early to
and
okay.
that's because in that time span, labels actually put money into the videos. Like they were
Mm-hmm.
willing to
Yeah.
spend money. The thing is, after that, they just didn't put any money into it, bro. So the videos got lazier and lazier and lazier, as in
Mhm.
because they just didn't have the money.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um, if you ask me what are some of my favorite video, quote unquote, music video directors' favorite music videos, a lot of them are older videos, but that's because those videos were more, they had more, their production value was more like actual movies. So
Yeah, yeah, a lot.
I actually don't blame it so much on like music videos being lazy. It's as more as like they just weren't as profitable. They
Mm,
were more profitable back then as opposed to I would say, more recent.
I got you. I
Um
got you there.
the one thing I do like though is that I feel like music videos are starting to have a very low key renaissance because modern like the ones that's in like the last 2 3 years, they're starting to very low key have that production value. They're starting to come back up,
Mhm.
which to me,
Oh,
someone like me,
okay.
it's very exciting because it's like music videos starting to look legit again.
Yeah, like we say that like what you said is right because little while back we kind of like did like an episode where we kind of discussed music videos and how ultimately it's just you gotta invest all this money into the music video and then it's gonna bring you back maybe only like a fraction of like what you spent to create it, right? But like now, like one of my favorite music videos that I've seen so far in like the most in the recent years is like that one weekend music video where he's like driving through Vegas. I forget that song,
Oh,
Lance. Like,
Heartless.
yeah,
Heartless.
yeah,
Yeah.
like that one.
Bro, you're gonna make me. Go ahead. Sorry, I'm sorry. I don't mean to interrupt you. You're gonna make me go on tangent because The Weeknd is one of the artists that I fucking love all his videos. In
Yeah,
Oh
other words, I
dude.
would
shit.
I would love to shoot a video for that motherfucker.
like like that Heartless music video was like crazy because it's like, you know, the song he's talking about like how fucked up he is and everything, right? But then you see him going through like old Las Vegas and everything, and like that car, and you can see how messed up he is and everything, and just like all these crazy things. And like it just like the music video, like it was so him, you know. And I was like, this is the shit I loved seeing growing up, and like that's the shit I miss. I fucking can't stand how it's just, you know, they're standing around on a set, and then they'll like it'll be a bunch of different camera angles, but it's kind of like the same shot, and they're just throwing money and girls shaking their ass and everything, like, you know. But when you do something like that, it's just like, yo, kudos to you for like doing it for the fucking art, you know. Like I could appreciate that.
I'm so fucking glad you brought that up because I'm about to. I hope I blow your mind with this. What would you say if I told you that I guarantee you the budget for that video probably wasn't that high? It's just that they spent it on the right things.
No
Okay.
shit. Okay.
Okay,
Well,
hold up. So
sorry,
to me,
sorry. I
to
gotta take it. Sorry, I just felt your reaction. I gotta take it.
I got actually hold on, I'm gonna turn on this light real quick.
I'm actually proud. If anything, this is my proudest moment of this interview. His reaction right now, bro. I love it because I know I just blew his mind with that. Like, what if I told you
you
it's
made
not
him
that
stop
that video
talking.
cost? It's not
A
that the
lot of people
video
can't do that
cost.
to Kyle.
You know what I mean? It's not that the video cost that much money. Is that they spent the money on the
Okay.
right things.
Okay. So to me, I thought the budget on that music video was probably fucking ridiculous because I don't know if it was like CGI or anything. I thought like they really paid to like shoot that shit going through Vegas, and I imagine that cost like an astronomical amount of money.
Well, the thing is, they did shoot in Vegas, bro. But the thing is that they didn't spend it on other shit that you don't spend. In other words, what I'm trying to say is that my beef with today's shooters
Mm-hmm.
is that they focus so much on gear. I gotta
Oh,
get this
yes,
camera. I
yes.
gotta get that camera. I'm like,
Yeah,
no,
yeah,
you
yeah,
don't.
yeah.
In other words, if someone came to me, if an artist, if The Weeknd came to me,
Mhm.
right, and told me, bro, I want you to shoot this fucking video, and they're like, this is my budget. I'm like, all right, that's not that much of a budget. Personally, I'm be like, let's spend the majority of that budget on the production value, aka not the camera, not the fucking lenses, not the shit that your YouTube generation focuses on. Spend it on the location. I guarantee you, the majority of that money they spend it on shooting in Vegas, aka getting the permits, getting permission to shoot in Vegas. Get
Mm.
you know what I mean? That's what I mean. They
Yeah.
spend
Okay,
it on the
Okay.
okay,
right
Okay.
fucking things,
Okay.
bro.
okay. Yeah,
So
Wow.
in
yeah.
other
Okay.
words, I would have done if I was the director of that video. I would have said the same fucking thing. I'd be like, bro, I don't give a fuck how much I'm getting paid. You pay me my minimum fucking rate. Everything else, let's fucking put it in. Why wouldn't I want to shoot a video in Vegas like that? You know what I
You,
mean?
I feel you, and I'm gonna have to go off of like what you said because like I am also kind of like I'm a little older, but like, you know, coming from old school, but then new school, I definitely also grew up with that whole YouTube generation, right? And
Mm-hmm.
there was a part of me. There was at a time. It wasn't until Lance talked some sense into me, right? And like my fiance, that you don't need all that fucking equipment, but I was so obsessed with trying to have like the quality right with like certain shit right. And it was it was I realized at a point it was that thought that having the better equipment would compensate for me lacking the technical skill that I needed for certain things. And then I realized that it was like, you know, it doesn't matter if you use like a fucking $5,000 camera if you don't know how to fucking use it, because it's still gonna look like fucking shit.
Let me ask you this, bro. Let's say you shot a video, right? Doesn't matter what it is. You shot it. It is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And then I tell you, okay, what you used whatever camera on it, right?
Mhm.
And then I told you, here's this fucking $30,000 camera, but you do the literal exact same thing. Like nothing changes other than the camera. The
Mm-hmm.
video is still gonna look the same, bro.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
It's still gonna look the same.
Yep. Fucking learn that, fam. And it
That is
exactly
why
like
my
you.
mind goes like this when I see people telling me like, "Oh, bro, I need this camera," and don't. Um, I wouldn't be able to tell you. I wouldn't tell you even if I knew, but I can't. I wouldn't know it. Like there was a ever since I started working on more music videos, I've been following a lot of that the music video shooter community, right? There was one music video shooter. I wouldn't put him on the spot, but I honestly wouldn't even be able to tell you who it is. But I saw them. They posted like a GoFundMe thing where they wanted to shoot a documentary about something, right?
Hmm.
And their whole GoFundMe was to buy a quote unquote cinema camera to shoot the documentary. So I dug and I went into seeing their videos, and I'm like, what's gonna be different? It's
Yeah.
still gonna look the same. It doesn't matter. Like
Yeah.
in other words, the gear doesn't make the fucking thing look different.
Yeah.
Like if I'm the type of person that's like if you can't point out to me what's different just by looking at it, then it doesn't matter what the fuck you're using.
Hmm.
You know what I mean? It's like it's that skill level. It's like that's why I love like being around like engineers, like music engineers and shit like that, where they tell me where I'll listen to a track and they'll be like, bro, this sounds like shit, but listen to it. And to me, it sounds amazing, right? And I'm like, what the fuck's wrong with it? But then they'll point out to me all this shit. I'm like, oh, I can say the same thing to you, bro. If you watch a video and be like, and you be like, dude, that shit looks sad. But then I point, oh, well, that's wrong. That's wrong. That's
I
why I
got
like to
you.
keep, I always keep that in mind, bro. Like, I'm not that person
Yeah.
that I have too much respect. Like, I've been through the trenches too long that
Yeah.
I have too much respect for someone, even if I don't like it. But if you finish it, I'm always gonna have love for you. You know what I mean? Because it's
Yeah.
hard
Yeah. Yeah.
work. Like people don't realize it's a lot of work.
No.
But the
Yeah.
one thing
Yeah.
I want to tell
Definitely.
you is that a fucking camera is not gonna make your shit look better if you still don't if you shoot it the same way. There's one shooter which I will not name, and it's no one that I've worked with. So if any of you happen to be watching this, it's none. It's not you guys. It's this is a long time ago. He uh he shoots a lot of music videos and a lot of and that shit. And then he bought a camera, a specific camera that's a big time camera, and he
Uh,
started charging more, right? He's like, "Oh, if you want me to shoot with this camera, it's gonna be this much, or if we can shoot with this camera, it'll be this much, right?" He was that type of
yeah.
person,
Yeah.
and to my knowledge, he's only shot like 3 videos with that camera because I know that his clientele is not willing to pay for that camera. And the thing is that his videos literally look the same. Like you can't tell what he shot it with. So that's
I
what I
got
mean. Like,
you.
bro, you like it doesn't really matter what you're using if you don't know how to use it. Kind of like what you said. Like if you don't know how to use it, it literally doesn't matter what the fuck you're using.
It's kind of like the
Like
man behind the camera type shit.
it's like when I get asked, like, oh, bro, like I'm trying to get a camera. What do you suggest? My first
Yeah.
question always is, what's your budget? More so because if I'm being honest, bro, today there's so many things available that are good that to me I'm like it's not worth it. Like if you don't know how to use it, it's not worth it to pay this much.
Hmm.
Pay this much, learn how to
Yeah.
use it, and then once you know, then it'll be worth it. You know what I mean? Like to get the better thing, and so on and so
Yeah.
forth.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shit.
Facts, facts. I don't want to get all fucking like talking about different shit and like going off on like way different tangents, but I
Oh,
also
bro,
feel
I'm telling
like
you, I
it
can go
kind
on
of,
tangents.
I also kind of feel like it kind of goes with like how much of like a like consumer society that we've like become, where it's like we just gotta have new best everything. The more expensive it is, the fucking more better it's gonna fucking be.
Oh, bro, like I hope I keep this quick and when I was in film school, I was all about buying the new and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
When thankfully I matured and I haven't bought lenses. I guess I'm gonna be very techie and geeky for a quick second. I still own the same lenses that I owned when I was in film school because I learned eventually, thankfully, what was good, and I don't need to buy new ones. Cameras, like
Mhm.
cameras, I bought a few. The cameras that I personally own are years old now. They're not the latest and greatest, but for what I do and for what I can afford, I don't need the newer version of it, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Because I'm
Because
like,
you know
dude,
how
I'm
to
not
use
gonna.
it. You know how
Exactly,
to
that's
use
my
your
point.
cameras.
Exactly, that's my
Yeah.
point.
So you don't even need the
Because I'm like,
newest, latest, and greatest.
that's my point. Yeah, that's all I'm
Yeah.
trying to say. It's like, dude,
Yeah. 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 That makes sense because dude, you're saving money on cameras that you don't really need. As long you telling us, as long as you can shoot what you can do on that camera, you're perfect. Because a lot of people use iPhones as cameras as well too. Like I mean, people use everything like just to create things, you know. So I mean,
mhm.
technically, you don't need the latest and greatest as long as you know how to shoot it, like you said.
exactly. Because if you don't know how to use it, then it's still kind of look like shit.
Yeah, exactly. Like you said, like, if you had a special eyes camera and an iPhone, you shot it the same way. You like you said, it's going to look the same way.
Exactly like that shooter that fucking bought this fucking expensive ass camera, and then when I saw his video, the first video he did with the camera, it, if you're watching it on your phone, it looks literally like all his other videos. I'm like, dude, what's the point of spending all?
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
guarantee you that all his clients are not willing to pay for using that camera. In
yeah.
other
Because
words, if you, I guess what I'm trying to say is, in other words, if you have to tell me what you used, what gear you used,
yeah.
then you don't know how to fucking shoot.
Ooh.
In my humble opinion.
Oh.
Hey,
In
man,
my humble
that's
opinion,
everybody's.
I'm not
Yeah,
trying.
that
I'm not
no,
trying to
no,
offend
that's
anybody. In my humble
yeah.
opinion, if you have to tell me I use this, this, and this to shoot it, then you don't
Mhm.
know what you're doing.
Well, that's the thing. You mastered your craft to the point where you don't even need the like you said, you don't need the latest and greatest. And that's with everything with artists and musicians. As long as you know how to use your shit, you're good. You're gonna save money regardless. You're gonna blow up whether you use an iPhone your whole career or whatever the case may be. So that's really interesting to me. Like I'm still mind blown of what you're saying to me because like that's off tops. Like I've seen a lot of like people or friends that bought the latest and greatest, but like now I'm thinking about it, it looks the same. It looks exactly the same shit because they don't know how to use the cameras. I'm not bagging on anyone, but that's a great point that you made. That's a
Yeah,
really, really great point.
and in some cases, I wouldn't say it's not that they don't know how to use the cameras. It's more that they don't know how to take advantage of how much better that camera is.
Yeah. Yeah,
If
yeah,
that makes
Mm-hmm.
sense. That's why,
Definitely.
like, there was a one conversation I once had a long time ago with a friend of mine who asked me, "Oh, I'm thinking between this camera and this camera," and I asked him, "What do you want to do?" And he told me, and I'm like, "Okay, this is a better camera." I'm like, "But it costs exponentially more, and you don't know enough to appreciate how better that camera is, if that makes sense. So buy the cheaper
yeah.
one."
No, that makes plenty of fucking sense. That makes plenty of
Yeah,
sense. That's like me. I'm thinking of buying a GoPro, but then like you telling me like if I don't know how to use it, like why do I buy like a GoPro? I have my iPhone. That makes total sense. Like it's just blowing my mind right now what you're saying to me, and just saved me $800 without what I'm saying. So fuck, man, that's crazy.
it's more like if you don't know, if you can't tell me what the advantage, if you don't appreciate the advantages, then what's the point?
Yeah, yeah,
That's
yeah,
why
yeah,
I no longer get excited when new cameras get announced in general, because if I'm being honest, most cameras are these. That's the one of the amazing things today. Most cameras look fucking awesome. It doesn't matter which one it is. They all look
yeah,
amazing. It
yeah.
just it. The question is, what type of work are you trying to do?
Exactly,
You know what I mean? At that point, then I'm like,
exactly.
okay, then consider the options. But in general, if you tell me I just want to shoot videos that go on YouTube,
Mhm.
personally, I'd be like, buy the cheapest camera that meets that goal.
Mm-hmm.
Because people are not gonna fucking know, bro. When you watch a music video, you don't fucking know what I shot it with.
Yeah. I love that.
Like you
I
don't.
love the concept. Yeah, that's definitely right, dude. I love that concept.
That's my mentality. That's all.
I feel that
That's just me. Though.
in my fucking soul too, because like I'm big into like computers and like building computers and shit. And like over the course of like the pandemic, it's become a thing because a lot of people like us, got onto Twitch to stream and stuff, right? And then just like also play video games and everything. There's a certain entry level. There's a certain point where like yeah, if it's a very pay to play type thing. So if you want to do certain things, yes, you're going to need to invest some of the money into the hardware. But people like all the fucking extra bells and whistles that they will never fucking use. Like I'll tell a homie.
Okay. Sorry. Go. I
I was
go.
gonna say
I have
I'm gonna
something for you.
tell a homie where like I have one homie for example, won't say their name. All they want is like super high FPS to play their one like shooter game, whatever, right? On a 1080p monitor. You don't want 1440p. You're not trying to go 4K. But why are you gonna drop racks on a graphics card that is kind of more catered towards the high end stuff, but you're never going to use it to its potential because you're just going to be playing like 1080p. Oh, I wanted it because everyone said it's the best thing to have, and it's like, bro, it's and then it's kind of like, man, I kind of give up, man. I just don't want to. I don't want to try to reason with you.
Bro, my equivalent to that is people that buy those stupid expensive cameras, right? And then they put the footage into the computers, and their computers fucking explode because they can't handle the footage.
Shit.
They don't
That's
they don't take that into account.
yeah, 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 yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. At this point, I'm a dick like that. I actually don't
Yeah.
tell them, and I just let them buy the camera and all right, go buy that fucking $6,000 camera, and then you put your card into your computer, and your computer's fucking freaking out. I'm like,
Oh
that's yeah,
shit.
you know what I mean? That's what I mean. It's like
You live and you learn. You live
Yeah.
and you learn.
exactly. It's like, dude, come on, man. It's like, if you don't know or understand the advantages, then what the fuck's the point? Like, what is the point?
Yeah,
Yep. 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 Yep.
exactly.
Yep.
Exactly, man.
All right.
But yeah,
All right. So we
those are
kind of
my
went
two.
off on a way different tangent,
Yes,
but
we did. I
all
know. I
that
know. I know.
shit was
No,
super fun to talk about. That's the shit I
I
love.
loved it. I loved
Yeah.
it. I loved
But
it.
like going back to like how we found out about you and everything, we found out about you through KTS. We saw, I think it was like the first video we saw was the Harbor area music video, I think.
Was the BMX one?
Yeah.
That
No,
wasn't me, bro. I'm not gonna. That
no.
Oh,
wasn't me.
Okay.
medicine. The
I did
medicine
medicine. I
YNG.
did do
Yeah, yeah.
medicine. I
Okay,
did do
okay, okay,
medicine, bro.
okay. Yeah, my bad, my bad. Um, but yeah, how did you come about to like meeting KTS and working with them?
All right, so I'll try to keep it as short as possible. So I'm from Wilmington, California, Harbor area, 90744. Um,
Yeah.
I did, you've interviewed a few KTS people, and they've mentioned the Harbor area. So you guys now know where our side of town is, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
it is a small area.
Mm-hmm.
So I went to film school. I'm going to make movies, blah, 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 all that shit. But I did get to a point where I'm like, okay, I want, dude, you guys have no idea how many legendary and classic movies have been shot in Wilmington that no one knows it's Wilmington because it's not credited as Wilmington. Like, they don't say Wilmington, California on the screen.
Hmm.
So my goal was like, I want to shoot shit that people know is in Wilmington,
Mm-hmm.
90744, Harbor area, as in, right? So after I graduated, I'm like, I wanna, and I always wanted to music videos, and the only reason I ever did them before was more because shit falls through. You reach out to artists, they're down, they want to do it, but then
Mm-hmm.
schedules conflict and all that bullshit happens. So
Yep.
then I let it go for a moment. I did what I did, and it was actually, and I hope she sees this, and she knows. I tell her all the time. It was actually now she's known as Sealua.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I forget how I don't honestly don't remember how I found out about it, but I did, and I reached out to her. I messaged her. I'm like, hey, I'm a filmmaker, and I would love to shoot a music video for you one day, blah blah blah. And she replied, and then I met her. I met Jaime, the manager at KTS, and all that stuff. We met up, and it was one of those things where obviously they don't know me, they've never met me, so I didn't take offense to the whole like, well, we'll see if you're serious, that type of shit, right? But I reached out, and it was more because I'm like, dude, to me, it felt wrong for me to be from Wilmington and not shoot something for someone that's from the area.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
That's
Yes.
that's literally my goal. When I met with them, we met and we set something up and all right, let's see, let's do it, let's see if it happens. And it was actually the music video for All In, uh for Say Lua.
Oh yeah, with Dave,
Back
Don David.
with back then, it
Yeah.
was she was known as Baby Girl, and Crash Indigo's. I actually, when
No.
to this day, I refer to him as the artist formerly known as Don David.
That's funny as shit.
So that was literally my first modern music video, if I'm being honest, and that's when I met
Okay.
him. Like literally, I met Crash when I showed up to set. I had never met him before. Met
Okay.
him on that day that we shot the video. So that's how we met. Oh, is it? Oh, it's my phone, bro. Can you hear me?
Okay.
Okay, okay, sorry.
We're good. Okay.
No, but
Cool,
yeah,
cool,
so
cool.
then I met him literally on that shoot. That was literally my first meeting them and working with them ever.
Mm,
That's how I hooked up
okay.
with KTS. And then when I finished that video and they saw the video, they seemed to be happy with it. When they saw the video, I think that's when they finally took me serious, which I didn't take offense to it. Like, in other words, I've always told them that I'm like, I kind of had a chip on my shoulder, even though I don't have a reason to have a chip on my shoulder. But I approach it in that mentality where it's like,
Mm,
I know you don't know me, and I know you think I'm some random ass dude. I guess
yeah.
because I know that they didn't know that I've been shooting for fucking years and years and years. You know what I mean?
Mm, mm,
So it was more, the chip on my shoulder had more to do with like, bro, I know what the fuck I'm doing. You know what I mean?
yeah. 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 I
So when I
got you.
shot
I
the
got
video and they were cool with it, they're like, "Oh shit!" I'm like, "Yeah, bro, I like shooting."
you.
So we did that video, and that was literally the start of everything.
That's what's up. I like that whole just being from your city, you want to support your others like your other rappers in your city. Like I think my favorite from yours from KTS is the YNG medicine video. Like how can you tell
Oh,
us like
bro.
how that come about? Because that was a dope concept, and I mean like whose vision was that more? Is that more of like YNG's or that your vision? Like that was like a dope message. You actually told a
I will,
story just by without any
I
words.
will say this. I will say, because I did see your review on that video, which I watched
Mhm.
your guys' review, and I was very happy of your reaction. Um, I will say that I've shot two videos so far with YNG, and both of them were very much half and half. Half
Okay.
Oh,
his, half
okay.
mine.
Okay.
Um, I will say medicine is the type of video where he had a vision for it, and I approached him with kind of my vision, and we kind of made a little, we compromised.
Mhm.
Because one thing I do love about ING is that multiple times, he's told me, I don't know what you mean, but I trust you, which I fucking appreciate. In other words, the one shot that everyone asked me about on that video, it's where, when he passes out
Yeah.
and
Yeah, yeah,
then
yeah.
he kind of wakes up and you see him. That's a
Yeah, on
shot
that.
that that's a shot that I described to him, and he didn't get it. He's like, I don't get it, bro, but I trust you.
Yeah,
When he
yeah,
saw
yeah.
that shot, he was like, bro, and I was like, I'm like, bro, like it's hard to explain, but I had it in my head. So that was a video where when he told me his idea, I was like, okay, I get the idea, but I'm like, I kind of want to be a little different than what he
Yeah.
originally pitched to me. So that's
Mhm.
what I mean. It was more half and half. I was all right. I do want it to be your video. I don't want it to fucking be something that it's my thing, right?
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, how do I put my 2 cents into it? And my 2 cents was by doing that shot. But I'm like, all right, I want to be a little bit different. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah, yeah.
I had a blast with that video because of that. I'm like, all right, we're doing something that's not new. It's not new, bro. It's not crazy. It's not fucking mind blowing. But it's new to the like local scene. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
it's not something that's normally thought of in kind of the local hip hop scene,
Mhm.
as in like indie. We're not label artists type of thing. Like that big fucking thing where you have money backing us up. That's
Yeah,
been
yeah,
my
yeah.
goal with everything I try to do with KTS.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that video was fun because we had fun shooting it, but my pride came more when they saw the finished product and they were like, "Dude, what the fuck?" And I was like, "Yeah, that's kind of what I was going for."
I like the whole concept at the end when he woke up and he's like in the room with like just us and Omar and all them, and they're just like promoting like their new song. That was a dope idea as well. See, the whole like that music video, it tells a story without you even having to figure it out or dissecting it because it was just imaginative, and I'm pretty sure everybody figured out the whole concept of the video, of course. Not even just by listening to the lyrics, but just by if you like paused it, I mean, if you played it with no music at all and just watching the video, you'll get the concept of it, no doubt about it. You'll get the cinematography, everything that's going through his mind without even saying one word. And that's what I like about your videos. Like those are like cinematographic, like those like movies, like watching movies. But
Well,
it's it's a
that's why I appreciate about YNG is because one thing he's always told me. I hope he doesn't mind me sharing this. Is that he's a big fan of contradicting what the song really is. In
Mhm.
other words, what I'm like when I first heard Medicine, way before it was even finished, he showed me the track. To me, I'm like, oh, this is a love song, right? And he's like, it is technically, but I'm like, I don't want the video to be your traditional. Like, I want it to be the opposite. So it's like if you watch the video and you listen to something, like, yeah, it's. I love that about him. He's a big fan of contradicting the narrative. So
Mm.
it's like if the song is a certain type of song, he's like, I want the video to be different, like
Yeah.
the opposite. So when
I
he
got
told
you.
me that, then I'm like, all right, cool. I fuck with that. Like I'm totally fucking down with that. And that's why that was our goal with that video. It's like, all right, if you've never seen that video and you hear the song, it's because when I heard the song, obviously there was no video, and I was like,
Mhm.
I'll sing this to a chick I'm trying to get at. You know what I mean? Like I'll play this for her. Yeah, no shame. I'll play this for her. But then
Hell
he told
yeah.
me, but I want the video to be about this. I'm like, oh, like all right, okay, cool, let's do it. And I was totally down for that.
You have a
That
dope
that's
vision.
that was me putting my 2 cents into it.
I got you. I got
If
you.
that if you guys get what I mean, that shot
Yeah.
was my 2 cents. I'm like, all right,
Yeah.
that's gonna be my little stamp. It's his vision. It's literally his video. But that
Mhm.
shot was my 2 cents. That's what I mean by if you love the song enough and you love the concept, just find a way to put your little stamp. And that was my stamp on that video.
Mm. I got you. I got you. I love your vision on the videos, no doubt about it. And then, I mean, your fashion spec videos are amazing.
I
Those are the
appreciate it,
eye
bro.
catchers
Thank you.
because of those
Thank
are
you.
man, those are like HD clear, like it's like trailer type vibes. Like that's crazy. Like, how did you come up with those ideas and concepts for those those spec videos on your YouTube channel?
Well, dude, if I'm being honest, I've always personally been into fashion, just like in general, since I was in
Mm-hmm.
high school. And but growing up in the era that I grew up in, you get picked on if you're into certain type of shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But eventually, I realized it's funny, bro, because like I was alright, I want to make movies and blah blah, and I did that shit, and then, but I was always into fashion, like and all that bullshit, and then I realized I'm like, I want to shoot like a fashion video, right? But dude, it's so hard to get into that if you don't have anything to show for it. Like literally, if I'm trying to get a job, like shooting a certain type of video, if I don't have anything that's similar to it, I won't get. I literally am automatically eliminated, right? So as fate had it, someone that had worked I did a video for her years ago hit me up and she was like, "Hey, I'm starting my own clothing line and I want to shoot a video for it. And I remember you shot this for me and I liked it and I was wondering if you would like to shoot it." And I was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm down." But then that question came. She's like, "Oh, do you have any examples?" And I was like, "Fuck, I don't because I've never shot any."
Oh,
Long story
okay.
short, she eventually gave me the shot. I shot a video for her clothing line and it actually came out pretty decent. She put it on her website and blah blah blah. Dude, I have never had as much fun on any shoot as I had on that shoot. And then my mind went, and I'm like, bro, you like fashion and you love filmmaking. They kind of go hand in hand. You know what I mean?
They
Mm.
do.
I
They
get
go
you.
That's
like dude. And I had at that time I had already been shooting for over 12 years, and I'm like,
Oh,
it took
snap.
me that long for that like moment to happen. And I
Yeah.
was like,
Yeah.
bro, this is what you should be doing. So the videos that you guys have seen were specs. In other words, it's like in the film world, if you don't get those type of jobs, make your own videos. That way, for portfolio purposes, you know what I mean. So in other words, that way when another clothing company comes to me, or if I apply for that type of job, and they ask me, "Can we see some samples?" I have samples because I went out of my way to shoot my own things, even if they're not real, quote unquote. But I want to show them I can do that type of video.
mm-hmm.
So the videos that you guys have seen were literally passion projects, as in they were my things. I wasn't hired to do them. I did them out of my pocket because I wanted to do them, and I hope they come across as like I genuinely like doing that shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm. Mhm.
Like I want to make them clean and crystal clear and look fucking as good as I can make them look.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That's interesting. I like that.
Um, yo, I'm sorry, but it's something like maybe your microphone.
It
I'm not too sure. It just sounds like it's popping or something. Like
yeah.
it kind of
It's
sounds
like
like
catching onto
papers
something.
being like rubbed against it, kind of. Like it was fine earlier, but then like I think you adjusted something, and then like it kind of.
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
There. It's gone. It's
Is
gone.
that clear?
There.
Is that clear?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Oh
All right,
wait,
cool.
nah, a little
Wait.
bit.
Oh,
It's like it's pulling.
it's a charger. I
It's like
think
it's
it's a
pulling.
charger. I think
Oh
it's
Oh,
a
okay.
charger.
yeah,
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, one second. Say something again.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Yeah.
Okay. I think it's better because you're moving and we're not hearing it no more.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it might have been. It just might be picking up the static from like if you're charging it at the same time.
Yeah, that's because my phone's kind of. Oh, but
Okay.
yeah, no. Wait,
Yeah.
what did you guys catch that or no? What I
Yeah, I
said.
caught that right now. Yeah.
Okay. No, but like the fashion shit is more me realizing that like that's what I really want to be doing. So in order for me to get like that type of work, I have to have that type of work to show. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like in the video world, bro, like the best person, the most skilled person doesn't always get hired. The person that gets hired is the person that they're looking for. So
Mm-hmm.
if I'm the most quote unquote skilled person, there's a chance I'm not gonna get hired because if some other person has what they're looking for, they're gonna hire them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Hmm.
that's like I have to have that type of work to show. Just like when I met like dude, I'm not gonna lie, when I met KTS for the first time, I had no music videos to show. So
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I didn't blame him for thinking I was a fucking like I'm not serious about it
Yeah.
because I had nothing to show. That's why when I did All In, they're like, "Oh shit, so you do know how to shoot?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, dude." I'm like, I've never shot a music video, quote unquote, up to that point, but I know how to shoot. It's just that in this world, bro, you gotta have proof. You know what I mean?
Oh,
Yeah.
definitely. Definitely.
Like you gotta be able to show that you can do what you're saying, and
Yep.
Yeah,
that's just how
that's
it
your
is. And
resume.
yeah, and
Yeah.
so that's how the fashion videos came about. Like I'm like, that's what I want to do, and bro, did you guys happen to see the one that was at the last bookstore?
That was
Lots.
the allure?
Yes.
Or yeah,
Oh
that
yeah,
was actually
that
my
was pretty
favorite
sick.
one. And then what was it? The bookstore had like this one part where it was like it looked like the bookcases were like arching or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, what if I told you guys that we had zero permission to be in there?
Oh no shit. So
I kind
how'd you
of
guys
believe it. I would kind of believe it.
So the way we did that was that I showed up an hour before the model did, and all I did was walk in there. So I had in other words, I pretended to be a tourist. So I put my camera on a fucking strap. I literally
Uh,
made myself look like a tourist. So because I didn't want them to fucking see me with all this fucking gear. AKA again, you don't need that much fucking gear to shoot something.
mm-hmm.
Um,
Mhm.
I kept it bare bones. I literally made myself look stupid. Like, oh god, it looks amazing, right? I showed up an hour early, and I specifically looked for spots in that bookstore where there wasn't a fucking camera right immediately next to us,
Mhm.
and two, not a lot of people around it. So I made a mental
Okay.
note. I'm like, let's shoot here, here, and here. When the model showed up, she actually had to go to a different spot so she can change into her dress.
Mm.
Then she walked into the store and met me up at a certain spot. And I told her, all right, we're going to shoot here, here, and here. So we
Yeah.
waited for moments where no one was around. And I told her, all right, let's get these shots. That's literally how we shot that video, bro.
Damn.
To
Oh
this
shit.
day, if I don't tell you that, 99% of the people fucking swear that I rented out that fucking spot to shoot because
I
it looked
would have
empty.
believed you. Yeah. That's what I.
But see, that's what I mean, dog. Like, it's like you gotta work around it. You gotta fucking make it work. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, my goal was to make it seem like the place was empty. It wasn't. Trust me,
Gotcha.
it wasn't empty. It was full. But we just
Gotcha.
picked spots where no one was around. You know what I mean?
Miggy, I have a question, but
Yes, sir.
check this out. Can you tuck in your necklace real quick?
Okay.
I think that's probably the
Oh, okay,
problem.
okay, that's
Yeah.
probably. Hello, hello, hello. Hello?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
As long as it's not scratching on your shirt or whatnot, maybe that would be the problem. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been scratching a little bit. Yeah.
All right, no worries.
Yeah. Sorry,
All right.
man. So that's pretty cool. Like, I mean, you really, I think you really make problems solvable. You use less equipment. You use um you really don't spend that much money. And it looks like those videos you spend like thousands of dollars, but honestly, in all, you know how to work the system. You know how to work your camera. You really know how to work uh videos in general. And that's pretty dope. You know, that's a wild thing to know and to learn. Not probably not a lot of people don't know the whole thing of doing that. You know, they always like well, coming back to this, the latest and greatest stuff, the renting out this studio because it looks nice. But you're telling us that you don't really spend that much money to make these great videos, and that's really amazing. You know?
It's more. It's like it's because my goal is more to make it look as good as we can with what we have. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
Hmm.
Like something that I've noticed it's becoming very popular in like indie local hip hop music video type of shit is that a lot
Hmm.
of people are starting to rent out like stand up sets,
Yeah.
aka sets that are like already built, so you
Mm-hmm.
just show up and shoot. But here's
Hmm.
the thing, they don't light, aka they just show up and just start shooting. In other words, if I show up to one of those sets, I don't just start shooting, bro. Like I'm like, all right, that's the set. Let me fucking light it. Let me make it look as best as I can make it look.
Hmm.
It's the equivalent of you showing up to fucking a park and just shooting, like just shooting out of nowhere. Me, I'll be like, all right, let's fucking show up at when is sunset? Let's show up at sunset because that's when the light looks fucking bomb.
Hmm.
Where is there a bomb looking area? Let's go there. Let's shoot there. If we don't have anything, let's shoot there. You know what I mean? That's what I mean. Like, don't just like make it look as best as you can make it look. Don't fucking make. Don't just go for the easy thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Because, dude, especially in LA, there's a lot of fucking like now it's a thing where there's a lot of sets. Like, there's a lot of like sets that are getting rented out.
Hmm.
But I guarantee you, though, like the one thing is that I know for a fact is that when you go on YouTube and you watch people like big people, quote unquote, that shoot at those sets, I promise you, they're not just showing up and shooting like this. They're gonna show up. They're gonna light it. They're gonna set it up. They're gonna make it look as fancy as it can, even though it's a set. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's like I guess that's what I'm trying to like implement. It's like, dude, just make it look better than what it looks like in person. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Like, don't take the easy way out and just fucking just shoot, just to fucking
Yeah.
shoot.
Yeah.
Like,
I feel
make it
that.
look good, bro. Make it look good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Exactly.
Do the best you can
Exactly.
with what you have, and then you got to get
Exactly.
creative with it because that's what, like I think that's how you really show like your skill and stuff, right? It's like, at the end of the day, like this is a form of art, right? And you want to showcase your art and you want to showcase how create your imagination and your creativity, and like that's what you need to do. And also like that music video specifically, that's crazy you told me that you couldn't be in there and you didn't have permission to shoot in there, because now I'm trying to think like how the fuck did they shoot that like intro scene where she's sitting next to the window and everything and there's no
Bro,
fucking
bro,
people
bro.
there.
That was the first thing we shot, and that was the that's my another that to this day is my favorite shot I've ever personally shot because it looks fucking great, and
Yeah.
more so because I literally had nothing. We had no lights.
Hmm.
I had no crew. It was literally me and the model, and that's it.
Oh shit.
Got you.
You know what I mean?
Hey, but that's what's
But
up though.
exactly, it's more like knowing. I'm like, all right, I need to know take advantage, bro. We did maybe 3 takes,
Hmm.
and that's it. And that's all we had. In other words, I'm like,
Damn.
I have to
Yeah.
get it right in three takes.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all I have.
Yeah,
Shit.
I
And to
feel
this
that.
day, that's my favorite thing. That's my favorite shot. Like shot. Like if you ask me pick a frame, that's still my favorite frame because it looks fucking great, and also in a weird sentimental way because I'm like we in a weird way we stole it because we weren't allowed to be there. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I get that.
we easily could have they could have kicked us out easily. They're like, get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? Like bro, we had no permission and we did that shit. You know what I mean?
I got you. I got you. Um, Here's a question. You kind of
Hmm.
spoke about it a little bit earlier when you talked about being from like Wilmington and how maybe you know people will refer to it. I think like everyone says it's like harbor area, but like that's a bunch of different like small towns or cities together in one location, right? Um, we being from like me and Lance were Bay Area natives, and we always talk about how the Bay Area influenced us, and we have there's this certain culture about the Bay. Can you kind of talk about like how being from where you from has maybe like influenced your life or influenced like your like creative work?
Yeah. There's a quote that someone that I didn't even know. Do you guys know who Gabriel Iglesias is, the comedian?
Yeah,
Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Fluffy.
Have Yeah. Have you seen any of his stand up? Just
yeah,
ever.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
All right. Do you know who? Okay. Do you know who Martin is? You know when he's
yeah.
Martin.
His friend that he's always
Okay.
referring to.
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
So Martin is actually from Wilmington, where I'm from,
Oh
where
shit,
all
okay.
Oh
where
shit. Okay.
where most of KTS is from. Like we're from there, right?
Yeah.
So he did an interview on a podcast recently, and I watched and listened to it. And there was one specific thing he said that I actually reached out, and he replied to me. What he said was, "Bro, I'm from the hood, but I'm not hood, right?" And I
Oh,
reached out
okay.
to him, and I told him, "Bro, I know exactly what you meant by that because it's
Mhm.
like I'm not, I'm personally not hood in the sense where I never did, like the whole gangbang thing and all got
Yeah.
into all that shit. But
Yeah.
I grew up around it. A lot of my friends did it, so I have a certain respect for it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
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 But my goal is like I want someone that's from the hood to have an alternate option. In other words, if all you see is that, I'm like, I want you to be able to see someone else. I'm like, they're from the hood, but they're not doing hood shit. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So my influence being from where I'm from, it's like, dude, like when I mentioned earlier, there's so many movies that have been shot in Wilmington that no one knows. Like they have no clue. Shows, TV shows, movies. They're shot here, but no one knows because they don't. They just say somewhere in Los Angeles. They don't say Wilmington. So
Can
it's
you
like
name a few by chance?
okay. Let's Did you ever see Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro back in the day?
Heat. No, I have
He,
not on that
it's
one.
it's like an old like
Oh,
gangster
you're gonna make me.
mobster movie like along the lines of that.
Oh God! All right, let me. Okay, all right, let me try to think of a very. Okay, fuck. There's a movie out right now, literally right now, called Wrath of Man. It's with Jason Statham, the guy, the bald dude that
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
in the
yeah.
Oh
Fast and the
yes.
Furious
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
franchise.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, a lot of those shits were shot in here in Pedro, and in Wilmington with the bridge, in a harbor area.
Oh, that's
I
hard.
literally, I
That's
just
harbor
saw
area.
that movie like a few days ago. So that
Yeah.
movie
Yeah.
was shot here. Um, the first Fast and the Furious, that final race was shot in our hood.
Oh,
Where
really?
where
On
fucking
the
yeah,
Oh
where
train,
shit.
fucking
where that quarter mile,
yeah,
and then he hits the train or whatever.
exactly where fucking Vin Diesel's like from here to that green light, it's a quarter mile. I'm gonna fucking
Yeah.
take it. And that was shot here. That was shot here.
Oh
Um,
shit.
Next Friday, Ice Cube.
Yeah. 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 Uh
Yeah.
huh.
Not Friday Part 1. Next Friday Part
Uh
2.
huh.
Next Friday. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I can literally walk to a gas station where they shot a scene for that movie.
No
Like I
shit.
can
Okay.
right now go. Uh, Fucking what's that? That movie with Collateral. That movie with Tom Cruise and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah. Yeah.
A lot of those scenes were shot in by the refineries, which all
Oh.
my Wilmington people know what I'm talking about. They were shot by the refineries.
So that burrito place, that bathroom scene, that was Wilmington.
No, okay. Next Friday, do you know when he has the shits and he
Yeah, he
goes to
has
the
Yeah.
like a
fucking
shit.
gas
Yeah, yeah,
station?
yeah, 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 yeah,
That
yeah.
that's that gas station I can walk to right now.
Oh shit. Okay.
Like that was filmed
What
here.
the fuck? Oh
Like
shit.
dude, there are so many movies. You know that movie Den of Thieves with
Den of
Gerard Butler,
Thieves.
the dude that was in
Gerard.
300.
Yes. Yeah, 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 yeah. Uh huh.
Okay,
Uh huh.
here's kind of the sad thing. That movie, if you watch it, is shot like locally in LA. It was shot in Gardena, which is not too far from here. LAX. in the movie, it's one of the very few movies that actually names Wilmington, California in the movie, but it wasn't shot here. It was shot in Atlanta, which is fucking terrible.
What the
But
What
fuck?
the
but they name Wilmington, California in the movie. And I was like, dude, like that's one of the only movies that does that. There's a lot of fucking movies where you see LA. The biggest movie I can think of, there's two. For us old people, Terminator 2.
Oh, I love Terminator 2. Yeah, which
What,
scene
Okay,
is
do you,
this?
which part?
yeah, the bridge at the
Yes.
end when they're on that bridge
Bridge at
driving,
the
and
end.
towards the end
Okay.
when they're
Okay.
doing that
Okay.
shootout.
Yeah. 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 Yes.
That
Yes.
bridge is
Yes.
technically Wilmington. I can take you to that bridge.
Oh my god.
Okay.
Damn.
So
Okay.
my
Inception,
whole
that movie Inception.
Uh
Do
huh.
you watch that?
yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, you know that scene where that the van drives off the bridge and they're falling and it's in slow
Yes.
motion.
Uh huh.
That bridge is technically Wilmington. That bridge is no longer there because they
And they
remodeled
don't
it, but
name you guys.
they
That's
don't name us.
crazy.
They don't name us.
No
What?
That's what I
respect.
mean. Like they're
No respect.
so no respect, bro. There are so many movies that have been shot down here that no one has a fucking clue. So I want to be someone that shoots shit here, but they know it's here. You know what I mean? It's like I don't want
Yeah.
to.
Got
Yeah.
you.
Definitely. Definitely.
Yeah,
Quite
it's
Oh
literally
like
trying
people.
to put
shit.
your area on the map.
Well, yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Like in other words, when people ask me, and I don't know if I don't know if Sergio mentioned this, but like I saw something where someone said it's like we don't say Wilmington, we'll say like Long Beach or Pedro.
Oh,
Not
that was
because
just
we're
us.
ashamed. Yeah. Oh, Justice. There you go.
That was
It's
just
not
us.
because we're ashamed of it. It's more because no one knows we exist. So it's like if I say Long Beach, people, oh yeah, I know where that's at. Well, we're next to Long Beach, or
Yeah.
we're near.
That's like our hometown in the Bay Area. We grew up in Hercules, so
Mm.
Hercules is like a little town, but nobody knows where the fuck Hercules is, right? So we always say
Mm.
San Francisco. We always say 20 minutes away from San Francisco. We always say that shit because everybody knows the big huge spots. San
Yeah.
Francisco, Oakland, Richmond. They don't know Hercules. They don't know where that shit is. So
Uh,
I get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying. 100%, 110%. Because I have to explain my fucking self all the damn time. Like if I say Hercules, like,
Facts.
oh, where? And I was like, oh, never mind. I live in San Francisco. I'm sorry. I live in San Francisco. Like,
oh
oh,
yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
then
okay.
like, oh
Yeah,
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 something. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. And they know it. It just saves time from without explaining myself. But yes,
Hey, hey,
I
Coach
get it.
Coach Carter. That's Richmond, right?
That's
Yeah.
Richmond. Yeah, Coach Carter.
Mm-hmm.
Coach
Yeah.
Carter.
I
There you go.
mean,
There you go.
there was a scene in 13 Reasons Why. I guess they shot in Vallejo. I mean, I
Hmm.
guess people know where Vallejo's at. So we're getting up there, but of course, San Francisco's gonna take our throne just because it's always
Uh,
in
Oh,
all
bro,
one
bro,
all
of
the fucking movies.
one
bro.
of
There's. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off, bro. I'm so sorry.
yeah, good.
There's a movie. Ben Affleck's in it. The last one he did, where he's a basketball coach. You hear about that?
Oh yeah,
You know
yeah, I remember that. Yeah, yeah. Uh huh.
that entire movie was shot where I can take you almost to every fucking location that movie shot in. Most of it was shot in Pedro and Torrance, which I can take you to almost every spot they shot that movie in. But they don't
That's so
name it.
crazy.
They don't name it. They don't name Pedro. They don't name Torrance. They don't name Long Beach. They don't name anything, dog. They just fucking shoot it in a to just the random person watching it. They literally
Yeah,
don't know where that's at. But I can literally take you to the spots where they shot that movie.
that's so
Damn.
crazy. I'm just
So
learning
trust
so
me,
much.
bro.
Like
Hey, did you guys watch
Wilmington,
it?
we seen the whole Wilmington, but we just didn't know. That's
Exactly.
that's crazy.
Yeah, you've seen Wilmington. You just don't know that it's Wilmington.
Damn.
That
That's
is wild.
crazy. Yeah, I was just gonna say because that's like one of the biggest like pop punk bands ever came out of a small town next to ours called Rodeo, but no one knows where fucking Rodeo is. They're from Rodeo. They went to a high school in Pinole, but they always said that they're from Berkeley, California, and that
Mm,
band is Green Day.
there you go.
And
Crazy.
I was like, what the fuck, man? No one, just because, it's a small town, whatever, you're going to think no one's going to give you the respect or whatever. But, like, hey, shout out to everyone that's trying to do it for their fucking area and shit, and trying to put
Yeah,
where they're from on the map because, like, that's what you need. And then also,
exactly.
motherfuckers, I won't name any people, but a lot of fucking people would fucking say some shit like they from fucking like Richmond or some shit because like their grandma's from there or something, and they use that because like Richmond, like in hip hop, they're using Richmond because like Richmond's a rougher city, so they're trying to use that and show that, they have some, street cred and shit like that.
Well, bro, that's if I'm being honest, that's what attracted me to KTS was more. And I've told it, and you can ask any of them, because I've said this to their face multiple times. I told them, I don't give a fuck if I'm not working with you. I would legit still be a fan of you guys. That's how talented to me they are. If I'm
Hmm.
being
Oh
honest,
yeah, top
I'm
tier
just lucky. I'm
motherfucking.
just lucky that I get to fucking work with them. If I'm being
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
honest.
yeah. Definitely. I mean, speaking of, I mean, KTS and everything, do you have any big projects coming out with them, or by yourself, or in general at all, like that
I
you can
have a
talk
few.
about at least?
I have a few fashion projects that I'm personally setting up that I'm working
Mm-hmm.
on.
Okay, I'm
There are a
excited for that.
couple of there are a couple of KTS things that I have in mind. There's uh, I hope they don't mind me mentioning it. There's a long-awaited collaboration between me and Just Us, just because
Okay.
Yes. Hell yeah.
I've
Hell
never
yeah.
worked with them, and
Yeah.
But there's that, and there's a few coming up with them. Like I'm never not gonna work with them if that makes sense.
I got
Okay.
you.
That's
Yeah.
that's
You know what I
that's
mean?
perfect.
But
That's
yeah,
perfect, bro. I
yeah.
like that. I like the vibes.
There's some shit coming up for sure.
Yes. For
There's some shit
sure.
coming up for sure.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Okay, I'm excited for that. I'm excited for that. For do you have any advice that you can really say to upcoming artists or like people that want to get into the film business that you can that you could say?
I will
I'm
say
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
no, dog.
Go ahead.
Like yes, I do actually. Please take this as coming from someone that's been doing it forever, as in like I've made all the mistakes already. Ask yourself what do you want to be known for? In other words, what type of work do you want to be known for? If you can answer that question early on, you're gonna be ages ahead of me even today, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. So if you want to be known for music videos, then dedicate your fucking efforts to that. If you
Yeah.
want to be known for making movies, then dedicate your efforts into learning how to make movies. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Um, I don't want you to be a shooter that says you're making movies and then one day you get an opportunity to be on a movie set and then you get fired because you know what the fuck you're doing.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Because I've seen that, dude. I've seen that. So
Yeah.
be honest with yourself. There's no fucking shame. Like if you want to be known as the best fucking music video director of all time, fucking go for it. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Level up. I guess that's my thing. Is like know what you want to do and level up. Don't ever stay in one spot. Because
Yeah.
if you only ever do a certain type of video, you're only ever gonna get that type of fucking artist or client. You know what I mean?
I feel
So
that. Yeah.
fucking yeah. So fucking dedicate yourself to what you want to do, like what you want to be known for. That's my
I
advice.
One of my favorite movies or like documentaries is Jiro Dreams of Sushi. And I tell a lot of people, I was like, bro, you don't gotta like sushi. It doesn't matter. You gotta watch that because you just gotta listen to some of the shit he's saying. Because it's
Hmm.
like you find something in life that you want to do, it brings you happiness, and you realize that's what you do. You have to dedicate your life to it, right? I'm talking about this fucking like 90, 80-year old man fucking survived World War II, fucking nuclear bombs being dropped on Japan and shit, right? And he's standing here saying that I am here today and I am the pinnacle of like the culinary world is getting 3 Michelin stars. His restaurant is a 3 Michelin star restaurant. And he's like, I've been standing here doing the same shit and perfecting my craft for like 60 years, and like I didn't feel like I hit my peak until I was like 70. And I was like, what the fuck? Like that requires some fucking dedication and mental strength, and quite honestly, like I feel like some grit that like a lot of people or kids nowadays just don't fucking have.
All right, I'm about to drop a bomb on you guys. What would you say if I told you that most filmmakers that have had movies that you can watch in theaters, the majority of them still have normal 9 to 5 jobs? What would you say to me if I told you that?
I would say that.
Damn.
Holy fucking shit! You gotta be shitting me. That's
Bro,
crazy.
it's very rare for a filmmaker to be a full time filmmaker. Like as in that's their whole living. That's all they do.
Damn.
I there the majority of us have regular jobs.
Okay.
It's
Yeah.
very fucking rare for a director to be a full time. Just all I do is fucking music videos. All I do is make movies. Nope. It's fucking rare,
Well,
bro. It's very rare.
holy shit, that's an eye opener because damn, I mean, you see all these big, huge blockbuster movies, and you figure like, all right, they're living the life, doing this, doing that. But when you say a 9 to 5, still like,
A lot of
shit, that
people still work regular jobs, bro. Like
yeah.
no bullshit. It's rare, bro. That's how. I mean, like I guess think about it. Let's say you're a fan of a certain director, right? Doesn't matter who it is,
Mm-hmm.
and then you look at their fucking history, and you're like, fuck, they seem to only make movies every 2, 3, 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
What are they doing in between, bro? They're not getting paid in between those fucking
Mm-hmm.
in between that
Oh,
time.
okay.
So what
Yeah.
the fuck are they doing?
You
Wow.
know
Okay,
what?
that
You're
makes
right. I never really thought about it like
damn.
that, but I also
That
thought
makes
that,
sense.
like say what's his name that that made like the Lord of the Rings movies.
Peter
Peter
Jackson?
Jackson. Yeah, I was just like I assumed he got a fat paycheck and he just fucking retired. Like didn't need to fucking work. That's all he had. That's all he needed to do, man.
Well, it depends. I don't want to get into too much of it, but it depends on the type of contract he's in. Like one thing your general audience doesn't know about George Lucas, the creator of Star Wars,
Mm-hmm.
is that he received 0 cents for making the first Star Wars. Like
Hmm.
he literally did that movie for free almost because the studio didn't want to make it. Like it was close to being shut down. That's how far over budget they were. So he went to the studio and said, "Okay, take all the rights for the movie. All the money it makes, it's yours. Just give me the rights to the merchandise. That's it."
Yeah, and he fucking made
And
his millions from the fucking. Everyone wanted a fucking lightsaber.
and
Everybody
eventually
wanted a lightsaber.
he eventually bought back. He eventually made so much money that he bought back the rights to the Star Wars. And y'all know how much he sold it to Disney for, right?
Like $3 billion or some shit, more than that maybe. Some.
And it all started, bro, with him telling the studio, "Don't pay me for Star Wars Tech Part One."
Yeah,
I don't want to get into the whole fucking. Don't pay me for the first Star Wars. Just let me sell the toys. That's
yeah,
kind of, in layman's terms, what he did, and eventually he made 3 billion out of it.
yeah.
That's
I've heard stories about like when you negotiate the contracts and everything, you definitely have to pay attention to a lot of the fine print and what you say because I forget what it was. It was um like when you receive royalties, the percentage of your royalties, you say if it's either from like gross income or the net income, and it's like sometimes like you just think income, you hear a movie like oh it made like 300 million or whatever. It's like cool, I'm about to get 3% of 300 million. Well, actually it 300 million, but the movie costs like 280 million to make, so the movie only made 20 million,
Okay,
and then like all that stuff.
you just reminded me of something. Okay, all right. We all know about Avengers, right? And how
Yeah.
much that movie made. Okay,
yeah.
what if I told you? Do you know that movie Joke? Sorry, I'm about to get very geeky
No,
with you.
no, no. It's
You
just funny every time you say "What if I told you?" You just blow our fucking mind the next day.
okay?
It's
All
just
right,
hella funny.
cool. You know Joker, the movie Joker with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Uh huh. Uh huh.
What if I told you that that movie was significantly more profitable than the Avengers movie
For like everyone involved in the movie,
in general, just in
in
general?
in general,
In
like the
general.
Joker grossed more than the
No,
Avengers.
no, no. It profited more
Oh,
than the
it
Avengers.
profited
It
more than the
didn't
Avengers.
gross more. In other words, what they spent to make and market it
Oh.
was so little
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes,
compared to how
yes.
much they made. In other
Yeah.
words, the Avengers made billions of dollars, quote unquote, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it cost hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars to make. See, a lot of people don't realize a movie has two costs: how much it costs to physically make, and how much it costs to promote.
Oh, that's
Mm-hmm.
true. Yes.
Okay? What if I told you the Joker cost so little to make and to promote, but it made billions of dollars? whereas the
Yeah,
Avengers cost millions and millions and millions of dollars to make and
yeah.
promote,
Oh,
and it made $1 billion. So in other words, the Joker made more profit than the Avengers. Like
that's
that's a
crazy.
fact.
At
That's a
this
fact.
point, man, all I can
I'm
say
not
is
talking
fuck.
shit.
I
I'm
believe
not
you.
talking shit. That's
No,
just the truth.
I mean,
That's
I
just the
believe
truth.
you, like, no doubt. Like every time you said, "What if I told you?" You put big ass facts, and we're just like, "Fuck, that's crazy." We have to think about like our lives have been lies.
Yeah.
I mean, and again, it's parallel with music. It's like, uh, I was watching, you know how R.I.P. DMX passed away recently, and there like a lot
Mhm.
of his stories came out, and how little money in comparison they put into his first album, but it made so much fucking profit that it,
Yeah.
you know, they made so much money off of it.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. I
It's
totally get
like
that from the music perspective
that's the
now.
same, bro.
Okay,
It's like
exactly.
that's why you want to be the movie that spends a little bit of money but makes a shit ton, as opposed to a Marvel movie that spends a shit ton of money to make it,
Yeah,
and it makes a shit ton, but you're not making the same amount of profit
yeah.
because you're spending so much money to get to that point. You know what I mean? It's like that's why like George Lucas, he fucking lucked out. Not because he knew it was gonna be a hit, it's because at that point he just wanted to make the movie. He's like,
Mm-hmm.
I just want to make Star Wars, so don't pay me for it. Just give me the rights to the toys and merchandise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And the studio was like, okay, fine, because this movie's not gonna make shit. And what happened? The movie is what it is now. I mean, we have fucking Disney Plus and Mandalorian because of Star Wars, and this motherfucker's happy. He literally, how many generations of his family can live without ever working because of him?
Too many.
Bruh, I
All
worked.
be
Oh, sorry, go
all
ahead.
because sorry, all because he told Fox, "Don't pay me for Star Wars One. Just give me the rights to the toys." That's literally, in layman's terms, what he did. And now he does none like generations of his family don't have to work ever again.
So George Lucas lives in the city that I work in. I don't live and work in the same city. Um, that city is part of one of the like richest counties in Northern California, which is Marin County.
Is that where ILM is at?
I
Industrial Light Magic. That's like his
Yes,
studio, right?
that's where it was before it moved to Presidio, and then
Ah,
it eventually
okay,
became Skywalker Ranch. ILM, actually, the
okay.
old
There you go.
studio used to be across from my work. But anyways, George Lucas has so much money and so much clout that it just overshadows all the other super wealthy people in Marin County. That whatever he says, the city and county will literally do.
Like that's he's God. So pretty much he's God in that county
Dude,
at this point.
he's like Northern California was like, or there was a time where California was just ravaged by like wildfires and everything, right? Because of like PG&E and shit, right? He made a small donation to the city to get all the infrastructure redone, and shit that normally takes years of fucking planning and fundraising and all that shit was done in 3 months.
I love that you said small donation. That's how he has it, bro. That's just fucking George Lucas.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying, bro. So yeah, but
Uh,
we're
but
getting all
our
geeky
favorite
technical shit.
question to ask everyone at the end,
Yes.
and my guy's probably going to be sweating, or just, I mean, I think he said he had some notes on the list, but we always ask to save this question for last, and we always change it up for everyone. It's usually top five dead or alive. We usually say rappers, singers, artists, musicians, whatever, but in your case, directors
Mm.
or producers, who are
Or
your
even
top
movie.
five? Yeah, or you can even name off your top five favorite movies.
That'd be kind of interesting.
Or maybe you can
Oh
give us a list
god.
of both. But yeah, if you can give
Yeah.
us your top five dead or alive.
All right. I feel like I'm gonna do a mixture.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, number one, Chivo. And again, if anyone out there listening knows who that is, I will buy you a drink someday. Uh, Chivo is a cinematographer. His name is Emmanuel Lubezki. He's Mexican. Raza. Uh, he- Chivo, if you know Spanish, literally is goat. Chivo is a goat,
Oh shit. Okay.
and
Okay.
he literally is the goat. Like he's the only cinematographer in history who has won 3 Academy Awards for cinematography in back to back to back years. That's a fucking badass he is, right? So he's number
Oh
one
wow, he did some top
above
movies. Yeah,
everyone. Above everyone.
yeah, yeah,
Did you watch The Revenant with Leo?
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
He
He made that
he
one,
shot that.
right?
He shot that movie.
That's crazy. And he made Birdman with Michael Keaton.
Yes, he
Holy
made
shit.
Birdman. Yeah, so he's just, in other words, he's the type of dude that I hate just because he's so good that I'm like, I'm just a peasant. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never gonna come half close to be as good as him. That's how amazing he
Hmm.
is. But I don't want to give you. I actually made it a point to not give you a filmmaker list. I want to give you a music list more so because I'm not a fucking artist. I'm not a music head, but I do want to give you a music list for me personally. So number one, Bone Thugs and Harmony. That
Oh
Oh.
was my
yeah, I
shit.
love that. I love that.
If you
I
met
love
me
that.
in middle school and high school, that's all I fucking, that was me. Bone Thugs and Harmony. So number one for me personally. Bone Thugs. Uh, I would say number two. After Bone Thugs, there's no particular order. Okay, no particular
Yeah.
order. So
Okay.
Bone Thugs number one personally. Bone Thugs. After that, DMX, RIP.
Oh.
I love DMX
Oh
growing up,
yeah.
bro.
Hell yeah.
I'm not gonna lie.
Hell
I
yeah.
love. I used to rock Tim's because of him. Tim's with the laces out, fucking funky.
Hey,
Hell
All
hell
across.
yeah.
That's so Bone Thugs, DMX, Nate Dogg after that. Just because
oh, Nate Dogg. Hell yeah.
Nate
Okay.
Dogg is because my original dream was actually to be a singer, believe it or not, when I was a kid.
Oh shit.
Okay.
I was never a rapper. I'm not a rapper. I'm not that. But dude, Nate Dogg wasn't really a rapper. He was a singer.
Yeah,
And
he
you know
was the
that
feature
track?
god, man.
Yeah, what was that track with that he did with West Side Connection? Fuck, there.
There's a whole bunch of
Where's
them.
like this day right here is
It
really
was
rough.
really bummed.
These fools
Then
out
no
here
one
about
here
to
about
bust.
the butts.
Okay,
Yeah, 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 yeah.
so there's a line that Ice Cube says that he's like, it must be a single if Nate Dogg's singing on it, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Name me a Nate Dogg track that wasn't a hit, like a track he was featured on that wasn't a hit.
Was it? Oh, Gangster Nation. Gangster Nation. Sorry.
That was the name of the song. Okay,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I
yeah.
love that
My
line.
bad.
So okay, so we got Bone Thugs, we got DMX, we got Nate Dogg. Three, everyone names Pac and Biggie, but I feel like that's almost.
That's
I
almost
almost feel
given.
that. I almost feel that doesn't count more so because, like you said, it's a given. It's like you kind of
Yeah.
they're in such a league of their own that you can't name them in a way, in a weird
Mm-hmm.
way.
They're in their own
Um,
category.
exactly.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go. If I'm being honest, bro, I'm an R&B guy.
Yes.
Can
Yes.
I
There you
name
go.
R&B people?
Yeah, go
Can I
ahead,
name
Hell
man.
R&B
yeah.
people?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Name
okay.
whoever you want.
Okay.
Yeah.
R&B number one, Brian McKnight.
Oh.
Oh.
Number one of everyone, Brian McKnight. That's right. Number two, Neo.
Oh. Okay.
Oh
So
shit. Neo, man.
Brian McKnight, Neo. I'm gonna put Usher in there.
Yes. Yes.
Brian
Okay.
McKnight, Neo,
Hell
Usher.
yeah.
Uh, this dude really, he didn't have. I feel like he wasn't a one hit wonder, but he was more back from the old people. Key Sweat. I'm gonna put Key Sweat in there.
Key
Oh, Key
Sweat was
Sweat.
definitely
Key
not a
Sweat.
one-hit wonder. I.
He wasn't,
Yeah.
but I feel like most people only know like two or three of his songs. That's why. That's the only reason I say I kind of mentioned that was because people Key Sweat makes me feel old in the sense that a lot of people don't know who the fuck Key Sweat is, which is a fucking shame, in my opinion. Like my little sister, she don't know who the fuck Key Sweat is. She's heard he. In other words, if I play his music, she'll know it, but she won't be able to name him off the top of her dome. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah,
All right.
yeah,
So I
definitely.
got Brian McKnight, Neo, Key Sweat. I got Luther Vandross.
Oh
Yes.
shit. Luther
Yes.
Vandross.
Luther Vandross for some real
Luther,
old school R&B. Yes.
Yeah.
and I got Marvin Gaye.
Oh.
Ooh. Marvin Gaye. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I love that.
Oh.
Sorry,
I
I'm more of
love
an
that.
R&B guy. I'm not. I'm more of an R&B guy. But when it comes
That's
to like
totally
rap,
fine, man. That's
That's
totally
fine, dude.
I'm an
fine.
R&B guy. I'm an
Like
R&B
in
guy, bro.
general, bro. You name some fire ass people. I love that. I love that.
Hey, you
Hell
know
yeah.
what? The Keith Sweat thing you said, it makes sense because everyone probably just thinks of what's that song? Nobody?
Nobody and what's the other
Twisted?
fucking song? Twisted. Nobody and Twisted. That's all I heard. Oh, sorry, Joe. Old school Joe.
Ooh,
When
Joe.
he first
Yes.
started. Old school Joe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh man, Joe's amazing. I want to know, and I don't want to be a player. Like that whole hook, man. Forget about it. He's
Yeah,
he's he's
Joe.
awesome.
And dude,
Uh,
That's
Tyrese when he first started.
Tyrese was cool. I'm definitely I don't know Tyrese's like discography like that besides kind of like his hits that everyone else knows.
Mm.
Uh, but yeah, Tyrese was cool, man.
I just feel Tyrese kind of Tyrese to me ruined his music history with being in really bad movies. Because only
oh
people know him most by being in Fast and Furious, bro. People forget he was actually a pretty decent singer back
yeah,
in the day.
yeah. That's
If I
very
told
true.
like a modern day person Tyrese, they're gonna think Fast and Furious.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course, that's the number
Yeah,
one thing.
but you know, like real ones know when was which one is it? How you gonna act like that comes on?
Oh,
Forget
How
bro,
you
that's
gotta
middle school,
act
bro. Oh God, don't get
like
me started with
that.
that.
that
Yeah.
was a
So in
sweet
other words,
movie.
my list is more R&B, more R&B based.
I love it. I love it. I love the vibes of that. I love any list that anybody can compile with their favorite artists and make it legit, and that's dope.
Yeah. And also, thank you for saying the Biggie and Pac thing because I feel like a lot of people kind of also say Biggie and Pac. Maybe they really do love Biggie and Pac like that, but sometimes I I feel that sometimes you can kind of tell when a person's being genuine or not when like they say certain things like that, right? And when they kind of just if the first thing they say is Biggie and Pac, I look at them and I'm like, man, I'm not trying to judge you right now, but I feel that like because you just said Biggie and Pac off tops.
I It kind of feels like they feel like they have to say it
Yes, yes, yes,
in a
yes.
way. But
Yeah.
me, I'm like I'm not gonna be like I'm not gonna say everyone's a hypocrite, but I'm personally gonna be a hypocrite because I didn't listen to Biggie and Pac like that. I listened to
Mm.
that's why I said Bone Thugs number one because that's what I listened to like
Hmm.
hardcore, bro. Like I'm older now, so I can't rap it like I used to. But when I was younger, bro, I literally would rap all the Busy Bones parts as fast as he did back in the day. I
Oh
can't do it anymore
shit.
because I'm older, bro. Age catches up
Yeah.
to you at a certain point.
Hell
I
yeah.
can't breathe. I can't hold my breath that long. But I personally like when okay, very quickly when fucking Straight Outta Compton came out the movie and everybody fucking swore they were a NWA fan. I was like,
Uh,
Okay, I know you know what I mean by that. I know you know what I mean by that.
uh,
So I don't want to get too into it. But when that movie came out, I was like, okay, I was an NW fan. I was an Ice Cube fan.
yeah.
Personally, I was an Ice Cube fan, and then Dre second, and then everybody after that, right? So my fandom with Easy E was more because he's the one that fucking introduced us to Bone Thugs and Harmony. That's how I knew of Easy E.
Mm.
I didn't know him because of his music. I knew
History.
him
History.
because he brought Bone Thugs and Harmony. He gave us Bone Thugs and Harmony. So I was like, all right, respect. I would have never known about Bone Thugs if it wasn't for him. So obviously, I got to show my respect. But I'm not gonna be a hypocrite and be like, "Oh fuck yeah, I love Easy." I'm like, I didn't listen to his music. I listened to Bone Thugs. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Exactly.
AKA 1 through 5, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
hey,
That's my list. One through
respect,
five, Bone Thugs and Harmony.
respect to the list, respect to the list. But I also really
Respect.
appreciate how you went from different things. That's also really dope. Like hip hop, R&B, mentioning one of your favorite directors. So it's it's cool. It's
You
cool.
got to, bro. You got to.
But with that being said, we this dude it flew by. We're hitting. It's about to hit 2 hours, and I feel like we've only been talking for like 20 minutes.
I
No,
know,
dude, this
bro.
is crazy.
For anyone that's watching, I did mention to these guys that I felt like I was gonna go on random ass tangents, which I know we kind of did a few times, but I do feel like I said what I hoped I said, as far as just shooting, as far as being a shooter, a video
Yeah,
director, and that type of stuff.
yeah.
And I'm happy that I got to mention my music taste towards the end because
Oh
you know
yeah.
what I mean. Like I'm more of an R&B person, which I did mention, but I grew up like growing up in the hood, bro. It's like I'm an amalgamation of everything I heard around me, if that makes sense. Like I heard gangster rap, I heard R&B, are I'm Mexican, so I grew up with Mexican music. So Spanish music, that's my shit right there. But
Mm-hmm.
like, I got a taste of a lot of shit, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And the shit that I happened to grasp onto was R&B. That's just what I, you know what I mean? Like, that's what I got into.
Uh,
And
that's that's dope, man. That I was just gonna say that's just like the Just Us guys, man. They were saying, them and who was it, Omar? They were saying that
mhm,
like, hey, like we grew up in the hood and like that's part of us, but like we aren't
yeah,
what you think of when you think of like people from the hood. Like we're not gangbangers and everything. We're from the streets, but we're not about the streets.
exactly.
I feel that. I feel that. But with that being said, guys, we're probably gonna bring it to a close. Shout out to everyone that tapped in, joined, and listened.
Yes,
Appreciate you guys
no.
all. And before we go,
Appreciate
why don't you let everyone know where they can find you?
Miggyvision on IG, Miggy Vision on Instagram. Real quick, shout out to everyone from KTS because I know they're getting me shit just for not telling them that I was doing this. But I love all you guys. You guys fucking awesome. I've told plenty of you guys, but I want to say all, to everyone, I'm a fan of you guys first. I think you're all legitimate talented. Keep fucking representing for the hood. And as kind of an inside joke, Doc motherfucking J, you're my boy, bro. I love you. So shout out to
it.
everybody.
Hey, for
For
sure, for
sure.
sure. All right, and with that, peace.
Peace.